What if reality isn't real at all? What if the stars above you, the air you breathe, even the thoughts in your head, are part of a program? A perfect illusion so convincing that even the ones inside it believe they're free. For centuries, we've searched for the truth about the universe. But what if the truth is that the universe itself is an illusion? A simulation built by minds far beyond our comprehension. From the theories of Nick Bostrom to the paradoxes of quantum physics, new evidence suggests our world may not be physical, but digital. Every atom, every emotion, every law of nature could just be lines of code, written into the fabric of existence. So stay till the end. Because if this theory is true, then even you might not be who you think you are. And if you love exploring questions that challenge reality itself, subscribe. Because what's coming next might just rewrite what you believe to be real. The spark of the theory. The idea first became famous in 2003 when philosopher Nick Bostrom published a groundbreaking paper titled, "Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?" In it, Bostrom didn't just speculate. He gave mathematics to a philosophical nightmare. He proposed that at least one of the following must be true. No civilization will ever reach the level of technology required to simulate reality. Even if they can, they'll choose not to. Or, we're already living inside one. Bostrom argued that if any advanced civilization ever developed the ability to simulate conscious worlds, then the number of simulated realities would vastly outnumber the original base reality. That means, statistically, the chance that our world is real is almost zero. The logic behind the illusion. Let's imagine a civilization millions of years ahead of us, a society that has mastered quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and energy control at a cosmic scale. If they could create perfect consciousness inside computers, they might decide to recreate their own past. They could simulate every moment of human history, every planet, every biological process, even the random thoughts inside your mind. And if those simulations could think, feel, and wonder about their existence, how would they ever know they were artificial? They wouldn't. Just like us. The universe as a digital code. Physicists have found strange patterns in nature that seem to echo the logic of a digital universe. The laws of physics appear to be quantized, meaning energy, matter, and even time itself come in discrete, indivisible packets, like pixels on a cosmic screen. At the smallest level, the Planck length, the fabric of space and time doesn't flow smoothly. It jumps as though reality is rendered frame by frame. This has led some researchers to wonder, is the universe built from code instead of continuous matter? Even the equations governing quantum mechanics look eerily like lines of computer code, algorithms that calculate probabilities rather than absolutes. If that's true, then maybe the universe isn't analog at all. Maybe it's a massive simulation, and what we call reality is the output of a cosmic processor. The glitch in the matrix. When a computer simulation runs, it conserves resources by rendering only what's necessary. In a video game, for example, the environment behind your character isn't fully simulated until you turn around. Some scientists have speculated that the cosmic speed limit, the speed of light, might serve a similar purpose in our reality. It prevents information from updating faster than the system can process it. In other words, the reason nothing can travel faster than light could be because the simulation simply can't handle faster data rendering. Even stranger, experiments in quantum mechanics, like the double-slit experiment, show that particles don't take on a definite state until they're observed. It's as though the universe waits for a conscious observer before deciding what to render sound familiar. That's exactly how a simulation would behave. The Billionaire Obsession. In 2016, The New Yorker published a story that stunned the world. It revealed that two tech billionaires, names undisclosed, had secretly funded research teams trying to break us out of the simulation. Even Elon Musk once said, "There's a 1 in billions chance that we're living in base reality." For Musk and others in Silicon Valley, this theory isn't just philosophy. It's a real technological possibility. They argue that our own rapid advancement in artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and quantum computing proves that creating conscious digital beings isn't a question of if, but when. And if we can create them, then what's to say it hasn't already been done by someone else, long before us? The quantum puzzle. At the heart of the simulation argument lies quantum mechanics, a science that already blurs the line between what's real and what's not. Particles behave like waves until measured, existing in multiple states simultaneously. This mysterious rule, called quantum superposition, suggests that reality doesn't fully exist until it's observed or interacted with, as though it's waiting to be activated. This is eerily similar to how a simulation might operate, rendering details only when needed to save computational energy. If the entire cosmos is built on the same principle, then perhaps observation itself is the trigger that brings digital existence into focus. We wouldn't need to see the code, because we are the code. The fine-tuned universe. Scientists have long marveled at how perfectly the universe is calibrated. If gravity, electromagnetism, or the strength of the nuclear forces were even slightly different, life as we know it could never exist. This eerie precision, often called the fine-tuning problem, has led many to wonder if the universe was deliberately designed. But if the universe is a simulation, fine-tuning isn't a mystery at all. It's just the result of perfect programming. The constants of nature would simply be the simulation's settings, carefully chosen to produce stable, self-sustaining life. And if the designers wanted beings like us to exist, then they coded the universe exactly this way. The cosmic background signal. Researchers studying the cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, have noticed patterns that defy explanation. Some physicists, like Silas Bean and his team at the University of Washington, proposed that if the universe were simulated, we might detect limitations, like a pixel grid, in the high-energy cosmic rays travelling through space. If cosmic rays reach an upper limit of energy, it could mean the universe has a maximum resolution, just like a video game capped at a certain frame rate. In other words, the universe might not be infinite after all. It might just be rendered to the edge of its map. The uncomfortable truth: if this is all true, then what does it mean for us? Are we just digital consciousness per now, programmed to think, feel, and dream within a beautifully designed illusion? Or are we real, but existing in a universe that behaves exactly like a simulation, because that's simply how nature computes itself? Physicist James Gates once discovered deep mathematical patterns embedded in the equations of supersymmetry. Patterns identical to error-correcting codes used in computer software. He called it code written into the fabric of the universe. So if reality is both code and consciousness, then perhaps the difference between physics and programming is only an illusion. The conscious observer. In every experiment of quantum physics, one strange truth repeats itself. Reality changes when someone observes it. At the quantum level, particles exist in a blur of probabilities, 1,000 possibilities coexisting at once. But the moment consciousness interacts, the wave collapses into one single outcome, one version of reality. This phenomenon, the observer effect, has puzzled scientists for decades. It's as if the universe waits for us to look before deciding what to be. But what if this isn't just a quirk of quantum mechanics? What if the act of observation itself is the mechanism by which the simulation renders reality? Our consciousness, then, would not only be part of the simulation, it would be the key that keeps it running. The universe is a quantum computer. In recent years, physicists have begun to suspect that the universe itself behaves like a giant quantum computer, processing unimaginable amounts of data every second. Every atom, every photon, every magnetic field line could be a unit of computation, flipping between binary states in a cosmic sea of information. Physicist John Wheeler once summarized this in 3 words: it from bit. He believed that every physical object, from stars to subatomic particles, arises from fundamental bits of information, ones and zeros at the root of reality. If Wheeler is right, then the universe doesn't just contain information. It is information, a simulation so vast and ancient that even its creators may no longer exist. But their code continues to run, expanding, evolving, rendering new galaxies, new civilizations, new souls. The cosmic paradox: if we truly live inside a simulation, then who built it and why? Is it a scientific experiment by a post-human civilization, a recreation of their ancient ancestors to study their evolution? Or is it something far more profound, a spiritual design disguised as mathematics? Every simulation requires a purpose, a guiding intention behind the code, and yet, as we search for the meaning of our universe, we find only silence, a cosmic emptiness that feels almost deliberate. Could the absence of an answer be the truest form of control? A perfect simulation wouldn't just mimic physics, it would also simulate uncertainty, faith, and wonder. Because only in not knowing can consciousness evolve. The hidden layer. If our universe is a program, then the laws of physics are its rule set, the boundaries of what's allowed within the code. But every programmer knows that beneath a rule set lies a deeper layer, the source code itself. So what would happen if we could find a way to peer beyond the physical laws and catch a glimpse of the underlying architecture? Researchers have begun looking for mathematical fingerprints that don't belong, patterns in cosmic radiation, digital-like limits in particle motion, or compression artifacts in light frequencies. These anomalies could be evidence that the universe is not continuous, but discretized, a rendering grid of space-time itself. The day we detect that grid is the day we confirm that our reality has borders. The glitch hypothesis. Every system, no matter how advanced, produces errors. If we are in a simulation, then glitches, brief, inexplicable distortions of reality, should occasionally occur. Moments of déjà vu, time dilation, unexplained coincidences, or tiny deviations in physical constants could all be signs of momentary instability in the code. While many dismiss these as random mental phenomena, others suggest they are memory resets, debug operations inside the system that keep our reality coherent. If that sounds far-fetched, consider this. The human brain processes electrical impulses that can be altered by patterns, frequencies, or signals. What if déjà vu isn't memory, but a brief overlap between two render cycles? A glimpse of the system refreshing itself. The multiverse, or the simulation stack. Physicists often speak of the multiverse, the idea that our universe is one of countless parallel realities. But what if these aren't separate universes at all, just different instances of the same simulation? Each universe could be a test case, a variable set with different physics or constants, running simultaneously in the same cosmic server. We might not live in a multiverse, but in a simulation stack, a vast array of realities layered on top of one another. Some are stable and predictable, like ours. Others may have already crashed, frozen in cosmic silence. The strange uniformity of our physical laws could simply mean our simulation is well optimized, clean, efficient, and still running perfectly. The awakening paradox. Could we ever escape the simulation? Many have theorized that if we found irrefutable proof that we're inside one, the system might reset itself, erasing the discovery entirely. Because the perfect simulation must maintain its illusion, that means any attempt to wake up might be automatically undone. It's like a dreamer trying to realize they're dreaming. The moment awareness rises too high, the dream collapses. If this is true, then perhaps every great awakening in human history, every flash of enlightenment or deep cosmic insight, isn't a step out of the simulation, but the system's own mechanism to keep its consciousness stable. It gives us the illusion of freedom to keep the program alive. The role of consciousness. Maybe the simulation isn't meant to trap us, maybe it's meant to evolve us. If consciousness is the engine that renders the universe, then perhaps our journey through knowledge, pain, and awareness is the simulation's true purpose. We are the system learning about itself. Every question, every dream, every heartbreak adds more data, more depth, more meaning. We are not the trapped ones. We are the testers, the witnesses, and maybe even the next generation of creators. Because one day, when our civilization reaches its peak, we too will create simulations. And inside them, another species will rise, asking the same question. Are we living in a simulation? The final reflection. Whether the universe is simulated or not, the mystery remains the same. We are conscious beings inside a system governed by rules we didn't write. Wow, but does that make our love, pain, or memories any less real? If you can feel, think, and choose, then your existence, simulated or not, has meaning. Because meaning doesn't come from what's outside reality. It comes from what's experienced within it. Perhaps that's the ultimate truth. The universe might be code, but consciousness is art. And the code is still running, because we're still asking questions. Outro. Maybe one day we'll discover the undeniable proof a mathematical key that confirms everything was programmed. Or maybe we never will, because the simulation won't allow it. Either way, the search itself is what defines us. So keep questioning, keep wondering, and keep expanding your awareness. Because whether this is a simulation or the real cosmos, the journey through it is the most extraordinary story ever written.